to have such a joy. We always love to celebrate young people, very innovative young people. So on my weekend was very great, and I must admit my weekend was very splendid as well. And I like to say happy belated birthday to you, Deputy Director Iwegla Yega, a former ERBC talented um, award winner of ERBC, Newcasters of the Year of ERBC. I'd like to say happy belated birthday as well. Wigler Yega, Deputy Director of the Press Bureau, Press and Public Affairs Bureau of the Honorable House of Representatives.
Okay. So, starting from, we're looking at security
Yeah, the
of
secret.
our country.
Yeah, security of our country.
So,
So indeed, these are things we're going to be discussing, the security of our country. As you may be aware, on Thursday, the security apparatus, the joint security apparatus, appear before the Liberian Senate. We have the Attorney General, Councillor Frank Musa Dane. We also have the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police, Inspector Patrick Sudu. We also have the Director General of the DA, the LDA, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agencies. That is Michael Zayu, who is the head of that security apparatus as well, that security agency, that is the Drugs Enforcement Agency. We have the immigration boss, who was also with us, Robert. His Robert, yeah, he have one Robert, something like that, yeah. And we have the director of fire service, the head of fire service, and the deputy director of NSA. The director of NSA, Pearson, should have been there, but due to some basic schedule, he sent his deputy. So it was a full house joint security apparatus who appeared before the Liberian Senate to discuss the securities of our country, the peace, if the peace will continue on in this country, that is the securities will be the best people to maintain the peace in this country. Will help us with the peace of our country. So on Thursday, the securities, the joint security appeared before the Liberian Senate to explain to them, to give them the assurance as we go to election October 10, how peaceful, how safe is the election period, how safe will the campaign activities going to be in our country, and also how is it going to go on with you having just, let's say, just 5 securities, 5 police officers within grand crew. If so, we just assuming now, if you having 5 police officers in grand crew, how safe would that be, as to whether that part of the country would be safe and free from violence? How safe would it be if you have the jailhouse at Baporu? The prison center at Baporu is overcrowded, is filled. How safe would that be to have to conduct the election peacefully, free from violence, free from challenges and what have you? How safe would it be if we have no police station now in Maryland County, where you have to arrest the perpetrator and take him to River G on a motorbike to ride the perpetrator on a motorbike to River G to place him behind bar? How safe would that be in this country if these things are going on for the elections of our country? So now that the government officials who have the oversight responsibility wanted to know how safe with the electionary period that we're going close to now, how safe would it be? How violent free would it be also in our country, Mama Liberia? So on Thursday, the security apparatus appeared before the House, before the Liberian Senate, giving some reasons, giving assurance of how safe would the election be, giving the assurance. They explain to the people that the election, with all of the challenges and why the elections will be free and fair, it will be transparent, it will be violent free, the elections will be violent free, the campaign period will be violent free. So the fear of our government officials, the fear of those who have the oversight responsibility is they don't want to experience violence. As you may be aware, these things will go on in that country. You will see protests in the period of election. You will see protests, and you will see violence in all part of the country. But we are saying these things are not good for our country. We are saying these things will not benefit us in the country. So the Liberian Senate deemed it necessary to invite to the plenary out of the security apparatus to give reasons, to give assurance that this election will be a free, a fair, a transparent one. This election will be free from violence. This election, because our youth these days are the most violent people. We the youth, we are the most violent people. Yeah, definitely, Thomas. The youth are the most violent people in this country. In fact, the words we always use in this country is that if you try, I will do the one to you. When I go to jail, I will come back. And it has been the fear of other senators who read the issues on Thursday in plenary that you will see John with cause problem and John having to go to cell, and after 1 or 2 days you see John outside. And they also raise some concerns. People will say that the jailhouse is filled with inmates, and then when you see people who are supposed to be free are the most dangerous people that in cell. Someone who commit murder, you free such a person. Someone who have minor crime, you let them into prison and free somebody who commit murder. Then you see that person outside. Is our law being banned? Or are we saying the law to be a blindfolded law? So good morning, those of you watching us on the premium platform today, Liberia Television. We're discussing the national securities of our country. Moses F. Kator is watching us, and David S. Sakaman is also watching us. Your views and comments are very keen and paramount to us on this premium platform. Our regular follower, Abadatu, is also watching us. The disenchanted, the former, he's a former citizen. I always love him. I always love what he always say. He's the former citizen, and he be a former citizen since Saturday program. He started to post that he's a former citizen. Albeit, it's not bad. This is our country, though. If you are a former citizen, you are a former United Partisan, it's not bad. But we want to see the securities of this country going on the right way within this country can run, Thomas.
Well, Cassius, thank you. But you see, we've always sat on this platform and said this over and over, that the security of this state matter. Our country is at a junction wherein nothing is to be overlooked. Everything we discuss here or that we see and flag out here is to be taken seriously. Keen attention is to be paid to the security of our country. But unfortunately, unfortunately, you notice that probably for me, I believe that our state actors are playing laissez-faire attitudes for reasons best known to them, because we still see things that has the propensity to create chaos among us as Liberians, as a nation as a whole. But yet and still, we do not do anything to address them. We do not address these issues. We do not put forth things to mitigate these threats. We see threats growing gradually, over and over, but yet and still there has been nothing. Yeah, it's so high. It's so high.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine citizens will go and burn just the only police station within the area? And then what do you expect if they have chased the police officers and the security apparatus from that identical part of the country, and then burn the under police station? What do you expect from that identical part of that?
Cautious. I do not support. I actually do not support these attitudes. I think we've been condemning and will continue to condemn such attitudes, by our brothers, our sisters, and folks as a whole, that we should, trust the rule of law.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, for the fact that today people are disappointed in the rule of law, people are disappointed in the justice system of this country. They believe that justice is blind, that justice, in fact, is no longer blind, but justice sees, so it decides who it wants to render justice to and who not to. It decides now who should have the right, no matter what they have done, whether they are right or not, and who not to, or to be considered always guilty. Someone is now being considered inferior by the justice system. That is what our people now believe. Therefore, they are disappointed. So the only thing now they have seen, which is a bad thing, is to just do whatever they do without caring. They don't care as a whole, the consequences. But they will just do whatever pleases them because they feel that justice is not being done to them. That is exactly what we see. Cassius, I bet you take your microphone today and speak to pundits in the street. Speak to folks in the street. They will tell you point blank, they don't care anymore. They believe that this country now is a country of men, not of law. That is what they believe. Because why? When they are faced with issues, they go to the courts. That instead, they do not seek justice. And that is not good for our country. Every nation must be governed by rules, and these rules must be respected, because the Constitution is bigger than any individual. But instead, in this country, individuals are now bigger than the Constitution, for reasons best known to them. Cassius?
And people quit to play score.
Yeah.
Because people will say that's my interest. So because of interest, people take violence. People take challenges, violence of people in this country, and feel because this is my interest. So I will protect my interest. So you will hear somebody say, I can do anything because I got somebody behind me.
That is exactly what happens.
So people do these things because of we compromise. We blind our eyes on the law that is on the book, and then we compromise with our interest. There have been something that have raised the attention of government officials. Could you imagine, Thomas, the Inspector General said these things are something that always give them tough time. You will see somebody who will be apprehended and then sent to the court. That is their job, though. They just have to send the person to the court, and with all of these charges, send the individual to the court. After 1 or 2 days, that identical person who was pronounced going to jail for a length of time, after a week, you will see that person outside. And then sometimes you will see, he even spoke of sometimes that identical person will be arrested again on another basis. So you have to do your job, but because people got interest in this country, based upon that, the rule of law is not active. The rule of law is not going on the rightful way that we expect it to go. The justice system is very poor. If you are a poor person in this country, you can never get justice. Trust me.
And Cassius, this is so bad for our country. It's bad for our democracy because people deserve justice. Let me tell you, no country progresses without the justice system.
Of course, yes.
And the reality is that even for investors to come, they must trust the justice system of that country before someone will, bring their money in this country. Because if something happens to them, where do they run to? Where? It's the courts. It's the justice system. So if they don't have trust in the system, they cannot come in this country. They can't go anywhere. Let's look at Afghanistan today. Who has the guts to go there? Because they believe that over that they will not be served justice. So as a result, no one trusts that particular place to go. So people will prefer keeping their monies. People will prefer keeping, the good things they have that they want to share with that particular country. They keep it to themselves. They sit on it. That's all. So it's the same old thing with Liberia. The security sector needs to be strong. They need to stand up to their feet. They need to take actions where it is necessary. So but let me tell you, yeah. Just within the police, most of them, when they see clients, they will pretend, but behind the scene, they are doing different things. They said that they themselves decide to place calls. I can tell you today, there are some police officers who misbehave, yet and still, when complaints are carried, right before the client, you see that, they will add that they are taking, some drastic measures. But at the back of that person, once that person turned their back, that case is dead. Everything is just being swept under the carpets. Even the police have not been doing justice. So Inspector Sudu shouldn't come and pretend as if, or to polish himself to be an angel, to be a demagogue. His administration has failed. How many issues haven't taken place in this country? Yet instead the police will tell you they are conducting investigation. What has been the police report on these issues? So that's a filthy lie that he just said there. I don't owe apology for this.
You were always.
I don't owe apologies for this.
Their segment, their roles that's being played.
Under his watch, let me tell you, Cassius, under his watch as Inspector General, he has the right to obtain every information. So he shouldn't.
His investigation, after carrying on his investigation at the LMP level, to transfer that delinquent perpetrator at the court.
Cassius.
So the inspector said these things will happen, and then they will take the person to the court. But all of a sudden, the police will not place you on
Cassius.
Cassius,
let me hold you there. How many cases have not gone to the court that the police told you they are still conducting investigation till today that they have not spoken to? They have not been accountable. They have not done due diligence to the Liberian people whose monies that they have been paid with for the services they rendered. So Inspector Sulu shouldn't come and then be lying to the public. I consider that a lie. It is not true. It is not true. I challenge him to instruct Moses Kato to give up on all of those cases, the mysterious death in this country. Let him come out and tell us what have been their findings. I can tell you for the fact that no, Cassius, let me come there. If I'm challenging them, I know exactly. My sister was murdered in the park, the industrial park at LPRC till today. There has been nothing. I'm telling you. So what would I say? You expect me to trust the justice system? I personally cannot do that. So if any other Liberians do that, I know exactly how they feel. I understand their feelings. Cassius? So that issue is a blatant lie. I challenge the police. I challenge them on that today. It's an open challenge. Let them bring it out. There are a lot of issues that they cannot account for. The drugs that are being arrested. What have been done? What is the status of these individuals? But they will always say it's a national security matter. Really? Don't the people deserve to know? The arms that have been arrested. How far have we gone with the investigation? I tell you, if the US government was not involved, that particular thing, we're not going to hear anything about it. I want to challenge the justice system today. I'm here and I'm saying it. I do not owe anyone an apology for this. I've said this over and over. It's my right to know. I'm paying taxes to government and you are being paid out of these things. So if Liberians don't trust the system, It's because the system herself has decided to fail her own functions. That is the reason. These things happen. Let's not encourage violence. Let's encourage the people to go through the system. But the system must be able to correct itself. Because it is so corrupt. The system is so corrupt that even justices will see themselves sitting over a presiding over corrupt issue. It happened with the former Chief Justice. He knew that the impeachment of Cabinet Janet was very political, but he allowed himself to preside over it. That was so disgraceful to this country. It was very disgraceful. These things must stop. Else we'll run a banana republic here. That is what we see this country running to, and we don't pray for that. But honestly, the truth must be said. If we cannot improve in these things, citizens will start to take the laws into their hands, and you won't hold them responsible for it. Kasha, let me be very bold here. We won't hold them responsible for it, but we will hold our own system responsible because we have laws that have been, ignored on the books. People decide to run this country their own way. There have been a lot of issues, of corruption. What have come out of it? We allow these people to go with impunity. Justice must be served. Then only can people decide to respect the rule of law.
Indeed, justice must be served. Then only people can respect the rule of law. So now the national security of our country, justice must be served to all. Not only the rich deserve justice. Not only those who have someone, people use that word in Liberia. I got somebody in the government. I want to get someone in the government. Not only you that has somebody in the government. These things will not help this country. These things will suppress our country continuously. What we are speaking of is that we want this country to be peaceful. We want this country, citizens of this country, to respect the rule of law. We don't want certain group of people in this country to respect the rule of law, and then a specific group will have a specific thing to do just because they have somebody in the country, in the government. Someone will always say, I have this person in the government. In fact, Liberian men to ask that question. You know who I am? You know who I am? And these things will not help this country.
Definitely.
The national security of this country is a must. In other countries, whether that FBI or that cop son is in a driveway where he's not supposed to be, if he's even a son there and he know that his son, he will apply the rule of law. His detail will be applied, and they will be, in fact, if it calls for him to turn his son over, he will turn his son over. But in this country, we have everybody. We speaking of the security of this country. A minister son will post a rich on his car. A minister will post a rich on his car and start to plow with it in the street.
Who are you?
Who does that?
In Liberia, we see that.
The services in the streets in Liberia is too much. Just imagine on yesterday going for communion service at my other parish at the headquarters, leaving from Dupo Road to Pagopi Junction, all of us stuck in the traffic. But we just saw that black Jeep with a private plate, because in the traffic and he want to go, and he put on his service. And he started to raise that service for people to give him way. And my pastor car was right before him. When it comes to power, people would like to show themselves. And my pastor was like, in fact, my motorbike, I just parked because motorbike will find a space to pass through. So I managed to pass. And my pastor car was parking before him. And he could not give him chance because if you're supposed to plow with a syringe, the first thing is that the street will be clear. But the securities of this country, we wondered at times. A police officer was there to protect him. In fact, the police officer was asking him, where are you going? Let me direct you. Who does that? Why are we running this country the way we are running it? When a little power is being given to us, we misuse it.
Everyone does whatever
What
they
surprised me
pleases.
the most of all is that we always like to reference other countries. Then we had the opportunity to go to Ghana, just a neighboring country, and they will come back and say, we're joking in this country. Ghana is one of the best African countries. Ghana is like this. Who told you you cannot do your country like that? But just to entrust you with a little power, you try to infringe other people's rights. This country is a country of law. It's a country that we expect people to be governed by law. But citizens of this country do not, in fact, they do not even respect the security apparatus. Why? Because some of them, the way they present themselves.
Cassius is a two-way street.
We imagine, Thomas, when the Attorney General was giving his report overall for all of the security apparatus, because he is the head, and he said in his report, for now, any uniform you see on the police, they themselves, any clean uniform, any new uniform you see on the police, they themselves buy them. And they shocked senators. And they were like, wow, you mean any security apparatus now, like most, especially the police, in a very new uniform, they use their own money to buy these things?
So where is the police budget?
And then it brought to the attention of Senator Abrams alone, who were asking, where is the police budget? He read the budget of the police last year. The amount were very high, 100 and some more, but this year surprisingly went to 94, 97. If 100 and some more were insufficient last year budget, or 2021 budget, then this year you are bringing 97 or 94. Is it sufficient?
94 what? Million?
Yeah, more especially when we are in electionary period, where the police will do more work than last year, where the police is expected to work double times this year. Then you are presenting such a budget. So Senator Abrams directly was asking, is it that these things sometimes hurt you as the head, the Inspector General, but then because of the executive proceeding, you don't want to lose your job, or you are satisfied with the way things is going on? If the budget is low, the senator said, if the budget is low, could you tell us to increase it because we are going to election this year? Now that the budget is before us to be discussed, could you tell us so we can increase it? At least that the country's securities will be safe. That the citizens of this country will never panic. But just imagine other people before this election, other people are planning to even take their cakes from here. And most of the government officials will do that. They can be the first to start it. They do not even trust the securities of our country. They will take all of their cakes from here and send it to other country. They say, yeah, all yeah. Even for now, some of them do not even have children here. Most of them cakes are out of the country.
How will they keep their case here when they do not value even you?
Because they do not even trust the rule of law. They do not trust the securities. Can you imagine when an incident took place in Maryland County? When the speaker house got
burned
by
yeah.
angry
mobs.
Crowd. The Inspector General said there was no backup. Just imagine. From here to Maryland, he said it's supposed to be 2 days and a half. If you really draft, it's supposed to be 2 days. But because he needed backup, and he was responding from here. There was no response team. Just imagine, he had to drive from here to Maryland County within 1 day and a half. 1 day and a half. Risking his life just to have a response team, to have a quick response to such incident. You think if there were more security apparatus, you think if there were more funding, you will leave from here to Maryland County for a response, to carry response team from here to Maryland County? You will have people deployed in the various contexts.
But we have regional hubs.
With 2-3 vehicles. Just imagine, it was because of those senators' advocacies that was able to get 15 vehicles, 15 vehicles for this election to be bought for the 15 counties. And thankfully, by the special grace of God, the Inspector General said it was also supported by the international community and the Liberal government. Instead of 15 vehicles, they have turned to 30 vehicles, and it is on the way to be here before this month end or so. 30 vehicles. We expect these things to have, this country to have 2 or 3, because we have response team. The traffic police, the patrol unit. You know, various countries supposed to have a specific vehicle attached to them. Besides that, also a motorbike, patrol motorbike to assist them in the process. Thomas, will you imagine when a notorious criminal have been prosecuted and sentenced to prison? Guess what? The correction officer that me will use motorbike to carry that person to the prison compound.
They're joking.
Could you imagine that? It's very risky for, and even it's not a motorbike that is owned by government. They call the passenger motorbike. They put off on the president, call the passenger motorbike, and then it's right here. We seen it just right here in Kakata. We experienced that. Those things are very dangerous for our country. Those things do not represent our country. In other countries, you will see things going on the rightful way. Why under Liberia everything is going on the way it's going?
Culture is so pitiful.
Could you imagine these things will happen in this country? Our government officials sit in RAF for the 5,000 car, and it will make law in their own interest. Could you imagine that? Oh my word! And the securities of this country, that's our fear. More especially for the journalists, the how do we call them? The electrics who will be in the street campaigning for their leaders. I witnessed the by-election, during the 2020 by-election, when the primary was going on in District 9. I was opportune to cover for one. She's the deputy director now for Bureau of Concession, one Musu Sandra Odochi, reaching after parading to come and give her special statement around our house. Thomas, we just arrived. All of a sudden, there was a group, there was a team set up. There was a play-by-play description that was set up with qualities. As we arrived on the scene, Thomas, we didn't even know how the group came acting like they're fighting upon itself.
That's a star.
Yeah, with qualities. And it was very dangerous for us. The securities managed to take that lady faster and put her in a vehicle, and they flee. They left the scene. And she was even asking, she called me later, she was asking, because of the situation, I couldn't check for you, where are you? And I told all of my equipment are in your car. She said, but how did you manage? I said, well, we just, because we know the situation of the country. So we just have to be secretive for our very self. We have to be very careful. There is no story worth dying.
No story worth death. Oh yeah.
So we should do things that we have to wash our back. Gabriel is watching us from Bomi County.
That boy is troublesome.
Tubman Greg, he's our Bomi County correspondent. Gabriel Josephus is also watching us. Josephus Shed Thomas is watching us. Many thanks for your input as well. He's watching us. I'd like to say many thanks for your input. Those of you watching us, your views and comments are very key to us on this premium platform. This is happening. The reason is because our justice system is very weak.
We're used to compromising issues too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy Rebecca is also watching us from her office at the GFK Hospital, 20th Street. Many thanks to keep watching us. Mommy Rebecca Kezulu, Mommy Rebecca Winnie Kezulu, she's my mommy. I'd like to say many thanks to keep watching us. Emmanuel Kokwe is watching us as well from
Kolahun,
Kalaman Village. Many thanks for watching us. We compromise
Kalaman, okay.
in this country. David X Sakama is watching us as well from Ghanaville Supermarket, Somalia Drive, the Japan Freeway. Is it because the way we compromise in this country, Thomas? Is it because the way we take things less? A man who will rape a child and people will take it to be family matter. Sometimes people will take this thing to be family matter because if you go to the court, you still see that person also. But is it right for these things to be compromised? The violence in this country is getting worse and worse day by day. And one of our correspondents, I think from Cape Mount, Nyen is from Cape Mount, right?
Yeah, Cape Mount.
Yeah.
Wifi, yeah.
Wifi just posted on his day a man who was chopped like an animal. And when I saw that, it shocked me. I was like, wow, this country, people are getting brave day by day in this country. So if you hear somebody saying, I will do this to you and nothing will come from out of it, do not take it to be a joke. Do not take such conversation to be a mere conversation. Definitely, if you stand before that person, you will get harm and nothing good will come from out of it. Because our justice system in this country is just what we call in our Liberian setting, who know you. You will have some situation and you will go to the court and somebody will come, what are you doing here? You know you're not supposed to be here? Who are you here? Then they will start to run with it and settle that problem for you to leave. But when you are just a very poor person, a mere citizen of this country, trust me, your situation will get worse and worse. You will experience a situation that yourself will not even know how to go about it. So what are we doing in this country? Are we looking at this country to get retrograde, or we want this country to progress?
Well,
what is our fear in this country?
Cassius,
Yeah.
the bottom line is Liberians will have to decide what they want. Yeah. We will have to decide what exactly we want. Because if we don't, the people will decide for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, they will decide for us.
More
So we have to
especially
decide.
for our youth. Our youth. very brave on a daily basis. The youth of this country, the youth in our country, you will see them with, how do we call it, with weapons all on their side. The middle of the night, their daybreak. Joseph Clarence, the red is watching us. Joseph, many thanks for watching us, keep watching us as well. The youth in this country are getting brave, more especially when it comes to violence. That is the reason they are sporting. And each time we take violence to be something that is very good for our country. And someone trust me though, this thing is not in Monrovia. No. It's not in the city. Just imagine this time you go in the bush, you will see those young guys putting trousers down and then using the weapons all on their side. It is because our justice system is very weak. In other countries, when these guys are arrested,
these are gangsters.
They place them behind bars. After certain years, they carry them on the farm. They put chain on their foot and they start to work. But we do not care. We will use a prison compound that was built for 300 inmates. We put 1,300 inmates. Just imagine, the Attorney General said this on Thursday that for the record now they have 1,300 inmates in South Beach, and some of them are crying no food, no medication. Every day they are crying. Their health condition will never be okay because you created a room just for 2 persons and then you brought 10 persons into it. Could you be safe in that room?
Never.
You will cry from heat, you will cry from suffocation, and you will cry from so many things. Because a room that was created for 2 persons but now have 10 persons into it, that person would never be safe. What are we doing to eradicate these things? The new president for the AfroPart, who was just elected a few months ago in Liberia at Farmington Hotel, I was opportune to be part of such program when we interviewed that identical newly elected president of AfroPart, the African Public Account Committee. He said, the African Organization Public Account Committee, that means, he's from Uganda though. His name is very hard. Yeah, you know, this Ugandan name is very difficult to be called. In an interview, Thomas, he said certain things about Liberia that up to now is still playing on my mind. He said these people, Liberian cry for this 114-year civil war, and because of that, we always capitalize on that, and our country is just retrogressing every day. Our country is just retrogressing every day. He said, do you want to tell me under your country fought war? He said, our country, other countries fought war, but your country fought war and they are still behind. Your country will go to other countries and keep requesting because of the 114-year civil war that was fought. Other countries fought war. He made reference of Guinea, he made reference of Africa Coast. He made reference of Sierra Leone. They are progressing. But instead, Liberia keep retrogressing in every form and manner. Look at the securities now. The Inspector General said they need more folks. The chair on securities. That is Senator
Steve Zago.
Amadou Jokbo Zago. He said if there is need, because Nigeria is going for election and they are treating more securities, because in every other country security is very important. Security is very important. So Nigeria now is training more securities for the election. So if there is need for Liberia to recommend few people that will go for training in Nigeria to come back, it should be done. We need to assist the citizens. We need to help. We don't want you to just send people to the academy for 2 weeks and then you get them gone. And Senator Prince Johnson raised the issues this one Thursday as well. We are seeing a lot of security apparatus who are supposed to carry gun, who are supposed to carry firearms. He made mention of the state police. The head of the state police carry firearm. Those guys who are guarding the state mayor, he made reference of them carry firearms. He tried asking the Inspector General and the Attorney General as to whether the people are authorized to carry firearms. Are they allowed to carry firearms? Now we are going to election though, we have to understand that if these things are not being regulated now, in time to come, it will give a hard time.
Sure.
You will see people with firearms all over in this country. So Senator Yomi Kanga Lauren also said, because of these things, she do not trust the security. So you will see one person who will train their private security in banning firearm. Just imagine the arm that will form with a private security doing the retired South African how do we call it? Rally. That gun was owned by NSA. There have been no.
How did it go there? Up to now, that is what I said.
A senator raised such issues as well this one Thursday, and NSA said they are still conducting investigation.
And they will continue to conduct that investigation till Thy Kingdom comes.
Can you imagine who brought that another firearm also to sell it to a private security?
But Kasha, that is not even something to stay long on an investigation, right? The first thing, every arm has a series number.
Of course,
I believe
yes.
I believe there is a database over there that tells who this is assigned to. But because they have something to hide, you know, when people have something under their sleeves, these are some of the things that happen. So you don't need rocket scientists. Like here, every equipment here has a series. The moment I come, I know exactly that in this studio, X is not here and is assigned to this person. Or once I see that something is not here, which is to be reported at this time, I know exactly who has it because that person is entitled to it. That person is entitled to it. It is that person who, uses it. Another person will not come and sign for that particular equipment. You see that? And once it's going out, there is a law that someone must be able to fill in. So they cannot tell us they don't know who has that. They know, but they have something to achieve from that. That is it. And we will say they have something to achieve. Why can't they come up with this? What are they conceiving? What's wrong? The Liberian people deserve to know these things. We deserve to know these things. This country deserves better.
Of course.
But Cassius, let's try to wrap up. It's chapter 10.
There are more years this country has been existing. We keep repeating things over and over. because of time, we won't be able to take our calls. So we like to say many thanks to those of you who've been watching us on this long platform to the Liberia television. J Cassius is my name. We've been here bringing you all of the happenings, discussing security matters. Tomorrow we're also going to dive into a bit. We're going to bring you some voices behind this daily called security issues. We're going to link up with our technician to do some thorough scrutiny of those voices, and the SS as well will be brought to you tomorrow as well. So this is a very huge topic we are discussing. We apologize to you for coming in very late today. This was something that would be beyond our control. Yes, the internet was very, this is what we do, and it's on the internet. When the network is not good for us, we will not come on automatically. But we also apologize to you, and we hope to do all of our in-house preparation to be in full swing on tomorrow's presentation as well. Those of you watching us, many thanks, and keep watching us. Emmanuel G. Biega Gion watching us. Many thanks to you as well, Emmanuel G. Biega Gion. Many thanks. And for sponsorship, we apologize to you. We encourage you to be a help to this platform, to grow this platform with any other amount that you think you can support this program with. To be a part of this program, we like to say for sponsorship, we appreciate you to sponsor us with any amount. You cannot take the full responsibility of this program, but you can be a particle of this program to say, yes, I can give $5, I can give $2, I can contribute toward this program for the growth and development of our country, because everything we do here, it requires transportation, it requires a lot of our sacrifices. So we apologize, we appreciate you for that if that is being done. Those of you who are regular followers and viewers as well, we appreciate you if you can be a sponsor of this program. You can take the initiative to say, I will sponsor you every month, I can sponsor this program every month with little. I will do
$100, $200
yeah,
can make something. Yeah.
50 USD. And these things are coming to our pocket. We definitely we appreciate it, and we will do all of the referral thing to keep pushing, to keep doing our research on this program. So I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us on this premium platform. Many thanks for today's presentation. I've been J. Cassius B. Detroit, the lecture behind the microphone here, the lead presenter. The next time you hear my voice will be outside this studio with our OB team on tomorrow's presentation. That will be the 14th day presentation on tomorrow, on a Tuesday. Many thanks, I'm out of here.
So that was the voice of the man J. Cassius B. Weirto, and my name is Thomas Blackswa on this Monday's edition of the program, The Real Issues. Until tomorrow, I'd like to say, have a God bless day. So, know your Bible story, all right?
Never living in fearful. Celestia. Capital. Joseph was Jesus' father. He was a capital. Jesus was born in Bethlehem by the Virgin Mary. It was the